Welcome to the Friday edition of Juan's World, and today my main theme is going to be traffic rules, both the legal rules and what the culture actually considers to be the rules and how they intersect with one another. But I'm going to start off with these little clips of Monday when it poured down rain. This is the monsoon season here in Cambodia, and we had several inches of rain in less than an hour. And here's the traffic on my street. You'd be better off with a boat than with a car or a motorcycle. You can see that they're mostly axle deep in water, and not quite sure how they're actually managing to stay functioning, because the engines are getting pretty wet, or at least of the motorbikes. The cars, I think, probably doing all right because there's not a lot of splashing up into the motor compartment. But the motorbikes are pretty much underwater with their engines, and yet they're still functioning, so I guess it's okay. So this is my street on Monday night, and I, of course, didn't go out in it. But then the next day I went out on my bicycle, and my road was clear, but the adjacent road looked like this. Sorry that the perspective is not great, but you can see that in large parts of the city for the whole of the next day it's still pretty much underwater. Well, now let's get on with the rules of the road. All right, so here I am coming up to Russian Federation Boulevard. We've been here several times before, and this time I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going down Russian Federation Boulevard towards an overpass for a very, very busy junction between Russian Federation Boulevard, which goes east-west, and another boulevard which goes north-south. And my direction that I'm going in now is really kind of awkward, because we only get 15 seconds to get across, whereas north-south, and that is the ones going north and the ones going south, each get a minute. You go north and you get 60 seconds, and then the south goes 60 seconds, and then bing, you get 15 seconds to go east-west, and that's it. So things get pretty dodgy pretty quickly. Now here I am coming up to the intersection, and I want to point out a couple of things. The most important thing, for the moment anyway, is that there's a white line you can see, and in front of that white line is a crosswalk. It would be what they call a zebra I should say, zebra crossing in Britain. And over here is a booth. Okay, now what you can't see, in fact what isn't even there right now, is 2 or 3 policemen lurking behind that booth. Now, if anybody in a tuk-tuk or a motorcycle crosses this white line that I'm behind and gets into the crosswalk waiting, now you just see that a motorbike just turned right. Not particularly legal, but nobody's going to care much about that. But if somebody's waiting to get across because there's only 15 seconds, and so they're trying to get a little bit ahead, and they get into the crosswalk, then police come over, take the motorbike keys and the motorbike and fine the driver. So that's the way they make their money, basically, because they keep about 90% of the fines. They turn over 10% to their main office. It's all a rip-off. They also will stop people now and again. It depends. Like in this part where I'm traveling right now, there are often police waiting as well, watching for certain things, like people who are not wearing helmets when they're on their motorcycles, or some other infraction that they've noticed. They'll pull them over and find them on the spot, and they find them on the spot. And depends what the infraction is, how much it is. I think around $10 usually. I'm not sure, and I don't know how they manage it, because a lot of people don't have $10 on them. That's a lot of money in a country where people make $1-2 a day. But that's the state of affairs. Okay, so the overpass is coming to an end. Now, this was a Sunday when I did this, so there's not a whole raft of traffic. But on a Monday morning, in the rush hour, this particular part of the road would be absolutely jam-packed with vehicles going on my part of the road, and then vehicles coming off the overpass, because just up ahead there is a traffic light, and that traffic light is really slowing down the traffic all the way back here. And so when I used to commute, it was a very, very difficult. Okay, so now you can see, I mean, even on a Sunday, this is what the traffic looks like, backed up to the traffic light, and we're going okay. What I want to point out is that this traffic light controls traffic going in this east-west direction and traffic coming in from the left. There's no crossroads here. There's just one set of cars coming in from the left. But if you're like me and you're traveling in the very far right-hand lane, it doesn't matter. We just passed through the light there. It doesn't matter whether the light's red or green. You just keep going. And motorbikes do that. Some tuk-tuks do that. So that what happens is the traffic entering from the left, coming in order to go east here, they stay over in the left-hand lanes, while the traffic that's already pushed through the red light stay in the right-hand lane. And it all works. I mean, it's slightly surprising, but it works for the most part. Now we're coming up to another junction, and this is the one that I want to particularly point out to you. This is another overpass, and as with the overpass before, we've got several lanes going in the direction that I'm going in. And you see, it's a Sunday. Notice that there's 3 young men passing me by. They don't ride bicycles during the week, but on a Sunday morning, well, they get out, get all their gear out, tight lycra shorts and bicycle helmets and whatnot, and do their exercise for the week. And then Monday to Saturday they drive motorbikes or cars. So we're coming up to another overpass, and this one is interesting because you cannot officially turn left here. all the traffic is directed right. And you'll see that it's going to split up ahead here. And I'm going to stay over to the right because I want to turn left, which I can't do. If I go over the overpass, I'll end up turning right or splitting between right and Russian Federation Boulevard. If I stay at ground level here, I'm supposed to turn right as well, but I'll show you how I'm going to end up turning left. So what I'm going to do, coming up to the junction, and you'll see that Russian Federation Boulevard is going east-west, and there is a boulevard going north-south, but it's all pointing me to go south. I'm going to get to the junction right here, and you see right now traffic is going south, so I can't get into that lane, but I'm just going to stop here. And what's going to happen is that this traffic that is going south is going to stop, and the traffic on the other side of the barrier, which is going north, see, it's just starting to go north, and I'm going to cross over and join them. So I'm turning left, even though it's not legal, and everyone does it. That's just the way things work. So those are some simple traffic rules for the moment. I'll get into more detail next time. Meanwhile, please like, please subscribe, please tell your friends, and I will be back on Tuesday with yet more rules of the road, descriptions of different districts, all kinds of things that I've been doing on my bike in this past week. Have a good weekend.